instead. Speaking of which, as long as it's going to be free, then I think I will take a single Imperial Keep. Okay, that's all my infrastructure set up. Now I can look at the heroes that I wanted in this deck. Since we're going with tanks and whatnot, we probably want technologists. We also want people who can just in general support my army. Let's look at the intellects first. These are all the people who are not good at combat, and you don't want them generally being a general. You want these guys left alone in your strongholds, providing their bonuses and researching tech. So what's this guy? He's the chief of staff. He increases our maximum hand size by 2, and he's a logistics genius. He increases the supply range of all armies in the field by 2 if the hero is located at the faction's HQ. This guy's perfect for us. We definitely want him. He has 1 hit point, so if he's ever attacked, he's dead. He's got a command rate of 2, which means that he could have 2 units in his army. He's got a fate of 2, which means that he can't really defend himself when it really comes down to it. At 1 resistance and 2 movement, he is not good at all for leading troops in the field. But again, that's not why we're taking him. We want him to support us. Cornelia West, Master Administrator 2. This hero adds 2 die to any technology or genetics card creation rolls and increases my action points by 2 if located within my HQ. And she reduces the cost to draw cards by 1. Really nice, especially because of the technology or genetic card rolls. So we're going to take her as well. Hannibal Zarkov is a technologist 4 and genetics 4. We want technologists, so we're taking him along with us. Albert Feynman. He's a master scientist and technologist. Hero subtracts 1 from the threshold for successful technology and next card creation rolls. The hero is located in the same hex as a friendly laboratory, which would be our research lab. Well, he's a technologist. We want technologists, so he comes along with us. Milton Drick is a technologist 2, geneticist 5, so we're gonna skip him. His technology is so low, and genetics are not something I intend to do much with this deck. Futon Strangeglove is a technologist 4 and tactician 4. I have war colleges, so we'll go ahead and add him along to our decks. We've got a lot immediately. We've got 5. Yeah, wow. We've got 5 intellects. That is actually too many, so we're gonna have to drop one of these people. So I think we'll drop Vincent Mudged. Sorry, sir. We just can't afford to have you in here. The reason why I don't want him, even though he's very helpful to the deck, is that's going to cut back on the number of heroes I have. You don't want too many heroes. Heroes cannot do any combat directly unless they're assassins or agents. Speaking of assassins and agents, let's go over these guys now. Mata Boyd. Espionage 5, Saboteur 5, Demolitionist, and Stealth. Very useful for blowing up enemy structures and messing with the enemy's turn. So I think we'll take her along. She might be the only agent we're going to take, though, because I don't want too many heroes in my army. Artemis Vance generally is very nice. He's an intellect mastermind, so enemies have a hard time blowing up my structures. He's got stealth and espionage. Valentine Kusanagi and Carlos Pendergast are both assassins. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be taking either of them. We're just going to be using just my Saboteur. Although I should go over what they can do really quickly. Artemis Vance is really a stay-at-home type of person who also can stealth. He can perform Espionage 7, which is really nice if you want to risk sending him out in the field. With a 5 Fate, he's actually really good at his espionage attempts as well. But I would rather not have him, as I want a Saboteur as well. And while Mata Boyd doesn't have a high Saboteur and Espionage, she can do either one. With Demolitionist is very nice because if she does damage an enemy, she'll be able to inflict massive damage on them. Valentin Kusanagi is good as a saboteur, and as an assassin, and stealth, so she's pretty good at doing whatever it is I would need done. Either assassinating enemy heroes, or destroying enemy structures. And Carlos Pendergast, oh, he's a tactician. With assassin and stealth. He's a tactician. We'll add him in. We have 6 heroes, so I'm probably going to be skipping any scouts. Adam Wraith, Leader 2. Hero increases his army's movement rate by 2 points. Oh, that's very nice. A Stealth of 5 and a Bounty Hunter 2. I probably should take at least 1 scout. So he's very useful for trying to capture enemy heroes I see wandering around. He himself can stealth, which is nice. He can actually perform a lot of reconnaissance all by his own self, by walking it directly into tiles. And Leader 2 means that he's really quick on the field. And Sigmund Gordon, Master Scout 1, he's got Stealth 6, and Bounty Hunter 1. Master Scout, the hero increases the strength of observation checks made by this army by 1 die. So he would be great if I'm taking the reconnaissance tanks, and I will be. Wow, so both scouts are actually very good. Both scouts, though, only have a command rate of 4. So what does that mean? Command rate is the maximum number of other battle cards I'm allowed to have in my deck. So these guys are not going to be in charge of huge amounts of units traveling the field. These guys are strike force guys. Let's go ahead and add Sigmund Gordon. Okay. Next we have the generals, and I would like to take at least 4 of these guys, possibly a 5th. So let's take a look at each one of these people. Vladimir Kost. Command rate 8, very good. 4 wounds, there's no pushover. 4 fate, that's pretty decent. He's also got Leader 2, that lets his whole army move very quickly. Aggressive 5, means that he's generally going to be going first. And Tactical Genius, tactic cards do not cost AP to play during ground combat when this hero is in command. We'll go ahead and add him to this. Eric Mai is a Tactician 4, so I'm definitely going to be taking him along because I want people to make tactics. And he's also very good at constructing tactics with Master Strategist 2. With 5 fate, he's really good also, so we definitely want him along. Ulysses Stark. He collects 1 human resource each turn. He's a Raider 2, so he increases the supply at which my enemies can, which I can reach across the map. And he adds +1 to attack and defense to every army that's in his command. He's really decent. But that said, I'm probably not going to add him because I don't think I want the I don't need the human resources for the deck I'm going to be making. That's probably a mistake. He's actually one of the best heroes in the game. Honor Harris or Honro Harris. A Trickster 2 and Tactical Genius means that this guy is really good at using fate cards. Or is this a girl? I can't tell. This hero is very good at using tactics. And since I plan on making tactic cards, we'll go ahead and add him to the deck. Winston Liu. He has Stealth, Tactician, and Raider. Again, another Tactician. We'll go ahead and add him to the deck. I want at most 1 more hero. Let's see who else we have. Carter Powell, Mechanic 2, and Pathfinder 2. That's really nice. In fact, since I know the other 2 are Jump Masters and Air Rangers, we're going to take Carter Powell. These last 2 heroes are really good if I was... Oh, am I recording? Yes. Are really good if I was going to use powered infantry, especially this the Space Marines. But we're using tanks this time around. We'll add Carter Powell to this. Okay, that's pretty good for my army. Half my heroes are combat heroes, half are not. I like that. We'll go with this at the moment. Next, we'll skip our air power at the moment. We're going to go right for our infantry. We're also straight at 75 points. We have 100 points to add into infantry. I'm sorry, infantry including tanks, walkers, etc., etc. So let's skip everything except for tanks, because that's what I wanted to look at. Let's go over each of these tanks. Oh, and as we can see, by the way, notice that heroes are all 1 of 1. You can only have 1 of each guy. You can't have 3 Albert Feynmans in your army. But when it comes to facilities, you can have at most 5. For tanks, the more powerful ones you can only have 5 of. The weaker ones you can have 10 of. So first we have our Cheetah. It's got infantry support 3 and rapid reaction. Choose a friendly infantry unit. That unit gets +3 attack, +3 defense until the end of the round. One infantry unit also gains the speed of the vehicle for map movement purposes. I don't yet know if I'll be adding any infantry to this deck, so we're going to skip the Cheetah. The Leopard is a Strength 5, Range 1 reconnaissance unit. At 4 attack and 3 defense, it's actually pretty respectable. And at 2 points to add to the deck, that's not so bad. He's also very cheap. We'll go ahead and add 5 of them to the deck right away. These guys are very effective either in an army or just scouting around by themselves. Panthers, 5 attack, 5 defense, and not a lot of resources to deploy them. With Assault 5, it can make its attack strength 10, but then its defense goes to 3 for the rest of that round, and the next round it can't attack. Still, at 3 points and decent amount of resources, especially for a tank army, we'll go ahead and add at least 5 of them to the deck. And just like that, 1/4 of my deck is now supplied. Tigers. 5 points each. More resource, energy, and tech-wise. Oh, I didn't realize energy was going to be so important. They have breakthrough, so they can, if they successfully damage an enemy on the front lines, they get free attack on the enemy on the back rank. And they have shock attack, which commits the enemy. They basically lose the rest of their turn if they haven't already attacked. These guys are pretty good. We'll add 4 of them to this deck. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add another Panther.